Hello, this is the Radio Geek. Happy National Yellow Radio Day. Yes, it is June 1st, National Yellow Radio Day. And for National Yellow Radio Day, I thought, I really don't have that many yellow radios. In fact, I think this is the only yellow radio I have. So I figured, well, maybe I should get another yellow radio. And I was looking at a couple of Sangeans. I was looking at the Sangean DT-400 and the older Sangean DT-400W, which are weather radios as well. I was thinking about getting the newer 800, but after looking into it and seeing some of the reviews, it appears that that radio for AM reception does not have the usual quality that the Sangean radios usually have, and it's not that great on regular AM band. I know it's primarily a weather band radio, but I like to listen to AM, so I thought, well, maybe I'll just skip that one and get this one here, the slightly cheaper and proven 400W, DT-400W model. It has a lot of nice features, although the 800 does have features that this does not. The 800 has lots of additional features which you would think would make it a great radio. It has the other radio, the DT-800, has 45 memory presets, 20 for the FM, 20 AM, and 5 for the weather. It has adjustable tuning steps. It has an auto preset setting, auto scan stations, adjustable bandwidth for AM and FM, and a soft mute to reduce background noise. And I think you can even disable that on that model. An alarm timer and buzzer, so it has an alarm feature on it, and a snooze function. It has the option to run on rechargeable batteries, and it comes with an AC adapter. Well, that all sounds really good, and it does come with a lot of things, but from the reviews and things that I saw, it doesn't sound like the AM performance is all that good compared to something like this. And I'm pretty sure this guy is going to be a good performer because I have his brother from another mother, this black one, which is not a weather radio, but it is strictly an AM FM radio, but looks pretty close to the other one, the 400W. They're very much identical. Obviously it says weather on it and it's a different color, but I have had this one for quite a while and I listen to this thing every night, and this thing is a good performer on AM. I can have it on and be tuning up and down the bands and picking up some DX there. So I like this one. It's the DT-200X, and this does not have the weather, but it's a good performing radio. So if you don't really want a weather radio and you're looking for a small pocket radio, it's digital display, and this might be something to consider. It is cheaper than the 400. This one I think typically runs for about $35, $36. This one here runs for just under $50, and the DT-800, the other weather radio, the new one, I think runs for about $70-ish, depending on where you get it. So it's quite a bit more than this, and apparently from the reviews I read, the performance just isn't there. Now I don't have the 800, I didn't buy it, so I can't really tell you that it's no good or it's not as good. I'm just basing that on some things I was reading, and I figured I'd just go ahead and get this one because I'm pretty sure the performance of this is going to be pretty good. Now, if you're looking for an alternative to the 800, this would be a good one. But if you want to be able to adjust the bandwidth on AM and FM and have the some of the other options that it has, like more memory and so forth, you might want to consider for approximately the same price, maybe even a little less, is the CC Pocket from C. Crane. It is around $65-ish. Sometimes you can find them a little less. And it's really, this thing is really good on AM. So to me, if I'm gonna have a weather radio, I want it to be able to listen to AM as well. You know, if it's got AM on it, it's got to be decent. Now this thing is really stellar for AM. So I think if you were really wanting some of these other features, like the adjustable bandwidth and things like that, and you were considering the Sangean 800, like I say, I don't have the 800, but from what I've read, I think I would pick this one over it, and unless they make you know, improvements and rectify some of those issues. But yeah, this is a nice one as well. Okay, so what does the Sangean DT-400W come with? Well, obviously you get the radio, you get this length of wire that plugs into the headphones, and this actually acts as your FM antenna or your weather radio antenna if you're listening through the speaker. Now if you are listening with the headphones, then that becomes your antenna as well. They do include earbuds, headphones. These are fairly decent, they sound pretty good. Just your typical headphones, but yeah, they're pretty nice. So you get that as well. You get the Sangean warranty. I was kind of surprised that this has a 90-day warranty. I would have thought, you know, you get a year for, you know, a $50 pocket radio, but I guess not. But you know, I really haven't had any problems with any of my Sangean radios, so we'll hope it stays that way. You get the little owner's manual here too. It's pretty concise. It tells you where everything is located on the radio, volume control, and the deep bass boost, which is good for FM listening. Your stereo mono switch, the alert indicator, memory buttons, band select, manual tuning, weather band, lock switch, belt clip, battery compartment, and then it shows you what all the little icons on the display, what those are for, what those mean. And it tells you how to put the batteries in, tuning the radio, manual step tuning, memory tuning, setting up the memories, and it tells you how to do the weather band, how to activate the alert function. And setting the clock. Oh, and then you can also change the AM medium wave band tuning step from 10 to 9 kilohertz. If you live in an area that's 9 kilohertz spacing, it tells you how to do that. And then it just has a specification. So everything you need to know is in this little book. And it's pretty easy to use. I guess if you hadn't used it for a long time, you might need to go back to the manual and say, oh, how do I set the weather mode or alert mode or something? But once you do it a couple of times, you know, you pretty much have it down. So that is basically what comes with the Sangean DT-400W. Now back to our yellow radio, since it's National Yellow Radio Day. It has on the top here, power on and off. It has a bass boost, enable, disable. That's really only for the headphone listening, and it sounds really good on FM for sure. Volume control here, headphone jack there. On this side, you have you set the alert, the weather. You have a a lock, so you can lock it if you're traveling. You won't bump it if you're listening to it. You got it hooked to your belt with a belt clip there. You don't want to bump it and change the channel or something. And that's what the lock feature is for. And on this side, you just have your speaker, mono or stereo selection, and those mono and stereo selection is just for headphone listening, obviously. It runs on a couple of AA alkaline batteries, or you can put rechargeables in there, but you just can't charge them in the radio like you can with the 800. So it has your typical frequencies here is FM 87.5 to 108, AM 520 to 1710, and weather channels 1 through 7. So it has on the front tuning up and down, the band select, and set the clock, or your memo for your saved channels. Now this one only has 19 memories, but they're what they call random presets. So you could have channel 1 as an AM channel, channel 2 could be FM, channel 3 could be an AM, channel 4 could be an AM. You know, you can have them all mixed up. You can't save the weather band frequencies because you just put it in the weather band mode. You can go through all 7 channels, so there's no saving those. But you can have 19 mixed AM and FM frequencies on the radio itself. It is very much like this one that also has 19 presets as well. So I mean, this thing is very close to it for sure. So I thought we would just turn it on and give it a listen. This does not have, for the weather, it does not have the SAMES feature, which allows you to pick counties that you want a weather alert from, and it doesn't allow you to say, oh, I only want to listen to warnings about thunderstorms, tornadoes, and I don't want to hear about marine warnings. This does not let you do that. So it's strictly when the tone goes off, the station you've got it set for, it will go off. And it has a little LED there for the alert that flashes as well when that goes off. So I thought we'd just turn it on here and see what's going on.
It'll be better now whether he can stay in the game, and it's a question
actually, why don't I just get to the weather band here, and we'll see what we can find on that, because we're pretty sure that AM is decent on this, and maybe I'll do a band scan at another time. So they do include this antenna. Basically, it's a chunk of wire because it doesn't have a telescoping antenna. So you either have to use headphones or this piece of wire to get your no weather stations.
As well. It will also be cooler than normal through the middle of next week. There is a chance of rain Sunday through Monday. Spotter activation will not be needed. The lows tonight will range from around 30 degrees to the mid-30s. The high Saturday will be around 60 degrees with 48 degrees under.
So okay, once you have the station that you want,
Grand Rapids was 52 degrees under fair skies.
once you have the station that you want and you want to put it in alert mode, what you do is you hold the alert button in for 3 seconds, and it'll give you the option of how many hours do you want to have the alert monitoring. So it's 4, 8, 16, and off. So let's say we want to monitor for 4. Then we hit the weather button there again, and then we turn it off. Now it's in weather alert mode. And this is great for if you're camping and you have this thing on while you're sleeping in your tent, for 8 hours or whatever. And then if something happens at 3 o'clock in the morning, you're going to know about it. So it'll basically just sit here and it just flashes every few seconds, letting you know that it's in alert mode. And if something happens, it'll go off. If you just turn it back on, and then you can go back to your normal use if you want to disable it that way. So you just turn it back off, and you know you're not. Oh, it does go back in alert mode because it's still in the 4-hour time frame. I guess you got to go inside and turn that to off. So that's kind of neat. You can have that all set up and just turn your radio off when you're done listening to it, and you're in alert mode and for that block of time that you have. So that's kind of a neat feature for if you're going to take this someplace, so you want something small and you're going to be camping or something like that. You can have it with you at all times. You can have it on your belt clip, and you're ready to go for any kind of an alert that would happen. In fact, I was commenting on one of Titlebert's demos that he did on a weather radio, and he was saying that he was taking a walk and he had it on him, and the alert went off, and his neighbors wanted to know what was going on with that. What was that noise? What was that all about? And he told them it was his weather radio, and it went off and told them that there were some thunderstorms, you know, heading this way. And there was a thunderstorm warning or watch or something like that, and his neighbors were upset that their cell phones didn't go off and let them know that there were storms on the way. I don't know, they must have had some kind of an app or something maybe that monitored the weather, supposedly would notify you of such things. But you know, really in an emergency situation when you have bad weather and you can have damage, wind damage, cell towers, phone lines, things like that, you really shouldn't rely on your cell phones. Something like this, or the radio that Tittlebert had, is a much better choice. This is a lot more reliable than a cell phone for sure. So anyway, this is just a quick overview of the radio and the weather band capabilities that it has. I'll probably make a few more videos. Maybe I'll do an AM band scan, an FM band scan or something, and maybe we'll do a little bit more with the weather band on it as well. But anyway, since it is National Yellow Radio Day, I thought I needed another yellow radio. Yeah. Anyway, this is the Sangean DT-400W. Until next time, this is the Radio Geek.